every day, one by one, I'm gonna try every recipe of Laura, starting from the very beginning. Come, join me on my challenge. Let's go! Hi everyone! My name is Ruta and welcome to the 10th Best of the Best recipe review video, which means basically that I have tried 300 of Laura in the Kitchen recipes, which sounds crazy when I think about it. I have 300 videos on my channel where I'm trying 300 new recipes. My god, I cannot believe it! This is so cool! Okay, so let's dive into the tasty world that my food challenge is all about and see which recipes of the last 30 new recipes that I've tried, this is how often I make these kinds of videos, made their mark in my book. Panettone. What a magical name! We actually call it Velykų boba in Lithuanian, which literally means Easter granny. Wanna guess when we make it? It was interesting to learn that it is special for Christmas in Italy. Panettone is a very festive cake bread-like hybrid in its own special way, starting with its dome-like shape and ending with a big surprise once you cut into it and have a bite. Because of the way you make it, it turns into this fluffy cloud which melts in your mouth. It's as soft and fluffy as they come, and be warned, it's going to disappear in seconds, as I have yet to find a person who wouldn't like it. I've already included it into my holiday recipes list, and I'm seriously contemplating to make it not only on Easter, but on Christmas as well, just because of how perfect it is. Oh, and if you decide to trust me and try this recipe out, don't forget to check out the panettone French toast and panettone bread pudding recipes as well for some awesome ways to use up any leftovers if a miracle happens and you have any. Links in the description box. Italian struffole was definitely a recipe that was incredibly interesting to try, as I've never tried making anything even remotely similar to this. This recipe, again similarly to panettone, reminded me more of Easter rather than Christmas, which again is the case for Italy apparently. This is a really dangerous dessert though, as you make these little tiny bubbles which are simply impossible to track while eating. And before you know it, you have only an empty plate in front of you, which is as puzzled as you are to where all the struffole disappeared. Imagine a very fresh tasting bubble, fluffy from the inside and crunchy from the outside, covered with this sticky honey coating and topped with very inviting looking festive sprinkles. That's Italian struffole for you. Cooking octopus at home. Yeah baby, I've done that. Sure, I almost died from how scared I was, but heck, I did it and I even survived. Never have I ever imagined doing anything like this, and I highly doubt that I would have done it if not for my food challenge, because I truly tested my limits with this recipe. But now, in the end, I can proudly say that I have made octopus salad myself. In my book of pride, I declare this as the fanciest recipe tried this time. If you can bring yourself to actually making it, it's a really simple recipe to make. Now, looking back, I definitely leave out the celery as I'm not the biggest fan of it, but other than that, this is a really good recipe to treat yourself or someone else to. It's so fancy. Besides, I've read that octopus is an insanely healthy food to eat for everyone. Well, except those who have problems with cholesterol. If I have a cheesecake, I'll add it to this prettiest one category for sure. Laura's cheesecakes are extremely tasty, so no worries there. The only trouble you can run into, as I did trying this pumpkin cheesecake recipe for the first time, ending up with a more liquidy batter than you were supposed to. But worry not, as in such case you'll still end up with a success. The difference will be in the texture. It'll be more like a fresh curd cake than a cheesecake, but if you love both, you'll have no regrets. A trick I learned with this recipe is to cut up your cheesecake into individual pieces and then freeze them. Lay a shelf in your freezer with some parchment paper and put the cake as is, well, not wrapped, on top of it. And once it freezes, then transfer each piece safely into a freezer or Ziploc bag so it wouldn't absorb other smells. And the day you want to have it, just leave a piece on your countertop in the morning, and by your coffee break, you'll have the best treat ever. When I went on a hunt for a bone-in prime rib, the butcher was actually really skeptical to whether to sell it to me or not, as in Turkey, they don't usually sell such big pieces of meat, especially with bones in, to common people, fearing that they might not know how to cook it properly and would end up eating raw meat. I remember the butcher specifically told me that they only sell it to cooks. And then it hit me. I'm a cook! Happy with an impressive piece of meat, I returned home to try out salt-crusted prime rib recipe. After it was long gone, my husband, with great longing, was still showing pictures and even videos of it to anyone who was interested to hear about it. It's an impressive dish, but truly simple and quick to make. However, deserving to be on your table for a special occasion for sure. Oh my goodness, how good was the mango smoothie? I desperately tried to find frozen mangoes just so that the making of it would be even faster. However, all of my searches ended up unsuccessfully. Well, in Turkey, I should add. And then I came up with this mango on the windowsill ripening, then cutting it up into pieces and freezing them technique, which was totally worth the extra couple of steps. This smoothie is so delicious, so frothy and refreshing that you'll seriously find it hard to stop making it. Another recipe which cannot be left out of this video is garlic knots. My goodness, my mouth is watering just thinking of them. Not only was it loads of fun to make them, and actually much quicker than anticipated, which is always awesome, but also it's crazy addictive. It goes perfectly in almost any occasion, as a starter, as a side to any dish, as a substitute, for example, for a piece of bread next to a bowl of soup. It's fluffy inside, crunchy outside, beautifully garlicky, everything and more you'd wish from a garlic bread type of dish. I have the most unusual recipe to share in Ate It Secretly by Myself category this time, and it's hummus. I have to be honest, I wasn't even sure what hummus is when I was trying out this recipe, but all secrets were revealed by the end. I'm sure you all know it, but just in case there's anyone like me who's not really sure what it is, hummus is a fresh, garlicky chickpea spread, which goes great in a lot of different ways. As an appetizer, for example, or something to spread on your sandwiches, or a healthy snack. Or chop up some of your favorite veggies, lay them around in a cute manner, and then you got yourself a fun-looking finger food for any kind of get-together. I honestly could not stop munching on it until a couple of days later I realized that it simply finished. And that's how it got into this category. Just because I already mentioned salt-crusted prime rib before, I don't want to repeat myself, I'll go with cheesesteaks now in this yummiest main dish category. This recipe is perfect for a work night dinner as it takes literal minutes to make and leaves you with this satisfying feeling in your mouth and tummy. My goodness, this recipe is so good. The trick is, however, to have fresh, crusty rolls and meat cut as thinly as you can find or manage to cut up yourself. Simple as that. A couple of really fresh good ingredients, some really high flame, and you'll have a feast in a form of a sandwich. Highly recommend this recipe. If you were on a hunt for some good new recipes to try out, I'd say look no more. Every single recipe I mentioned in this video is definitely worth your time and effort. And if you want even more ideas, I mean, we always want more, then I actually have a whole playlist of these kinds of recipe review videos. As I mentioned, this is the 10th one, where I pick and choose the best of the best. That's where the name comes from. I mean, I love Laura's food in general, period. But some recipes definitely leave a mark more than the others. And, well, if you're curious to hear all about them, then be sure to check the description box for all the links. Or you can also click in the cards. Wait, are they there? I think they're there. And now it's your turn to share some goodies with me. I'm all ears when it comes to good food. So don't be shy and leave me some ideas of what gems you've come across recently. And also, I would really love to thank you from the bottom of my heart for patience with me and all of my moves. First from Iran to Turkey, then from Turkey to Lithuania, and then all of those unexpected breaks on my channel. I'm actually honestly surprised that you guys are still with me, so thank you. And then, as always, I'll see you very soon. Bye!